Hello all and welcome to Abyss Dreaming. From the title you saw what this is going to be about, but before that I would like to explain what I'm about. I love to write and I love a good story. That comes first when it comes to anything related to art and the creation of art. To me, writing is art, and I would like to help those that are new to writing or just looking for some help in the field. Enough of that though, let's get on to talking about diversity in media. And when I say media, I'm referring to books, film and television. Obviously, diversity is littered throughout Western society, but I'm going to focus on it in the media. Well, let's get it out of the way. Diversity is wrong. And no, I'm not left or right or center. That's irrelevant. Where I lean isn't important, as all I care about is what is right and what is wrong. Fact versus fiction. With that being said, diversity is fiction. It's liberal nonsense that has no grounding in reality and to the way the world actually works. And by then pushing this ideology, it has a lot of negative effects on culture. One of them is art. Diversity is a shallow view of the world. It only focuses on what people are instead of who they are. It could be any more vain of a point of view that looks at the world in black and white. The people that promote and enforce diversity say that they understand the world isn't black and white, and yet they still act on it. We see it time and time again while they attempt to claim the moral high ground. We've seen examples of this in Disney's Star Wars, Battlefield 5, politics, business, pretty much everything. When you think of diversity, you don't just think of a novel, movie, or TV series as just that. You think of a checklist of arbitrary physical attributes and nothing more. It clogs the gears of creation because you're so busy worrying about offending someone instead of being creative. So what would be the point in creating something if, because you have created a black person in your novel and they are the stereotypical black person, you would be labeled a racist? Well, then what's the point in writing? You write because you write. The people that only think about race and sex are not your audience anyway. They won't buy the product, they will only complain. That's all they do. If they claim the product is the best thing in the world, and yet sales will say otherwise. The Last Jedi is proof of that. Who's really looking forward to seeing episode 9? When you insert shallow characters and beliefs into the work, it creates a poor product. As you can see from the graph, it is very full. And with all the diversity, what room do you really have for a good story? It is a flawed ideology. And yet on this graph, with just the basics, you can see how there is more space to create something of value. It's not shallow, and shallow is the key word because that is what you would be making if you were to follow the diversity checklist. One thing that you'll notice is that I left our character development in the graph. That's because there is no time in the work really to develop the character or characters. An easy example to demonstrate this is Rey and Captain Marvel, as they are the two most current forms of diversity in media. They have no depth or development of any kind, and if you're to have a character, they must learn or change in some way. There is an exception to every rule, but diversity is not the exception in anything. When you come up with an idea, you're not thinking about the sexuality or sex of the character. You're generally concerned with how they fit into the story and that you're developing them in some way. The story comes first before the character, not the other way around. No one cares what's between their legs, only if it works within the context of the book. The people that push this wonder why there is such a cultural backlash in modern cinema, books, games, and so on. It's because they only care about race and sex and pushing a political ideology. Write a novel and get it published by P.D. James is a great place to start when it comes to learning how to write a novel. tells you what you need, and it covers a lot of the fundamentals that are needed to write a novel or any kind of story. This is basically free advertisement for the book, but it's worth it. Anyway, if you like this, consider subscribing and following me on my blog. Links below. Until next time.